Bendiciones, what up everybody? This is El Conquistador back with another video. I'm joined by my fiance India. Quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I have not discussed this with my godparents, and this is all personal opinion. That out of the way. Obi is for trivial matters. We use Obi to join a house. Thus, joining a house is a trivial matter. Joining a house is a quick 5 minutes, present plato, coco, vela, and some money. And it's like super duper quick, and then at the end, after about 3 to 5 minutes, you know, you get a bunch of congratulations. Present plato coco vela, get on your knees, they throw obi, takes like 3 minutes, super quick.
To me, personally, it's never a trivial matter. There's a lot at stake. So when you go before that person, the responsible thing to do would be for the person to bring down their orisha, their corresponding orisha on the mat, and to be able to ascertain whether it's a good fit, it would be conducive to their progress, or any number of things that could possibly come up during the course of the reading. You allow your corresponding orisha, because this is a major event, a major undertaking, you know, taking on the role and responsibility of elder in somebody else's life. So you would think that you would give responsibly your corresponding orisha is governing your head the ability to be able to speak and expound and offer insight, offer advice, offer forewarnings, offer, you know, eboses, etc., etc.
And when she says, bring your orisha onto the mat, she means the godparent or the potential godparent having the Diloggun, the cowrie shells, brought onto the mat to speak. So some notes here. Perhaps it would be better to use the Diloggun instead of using obi. Ochun or Batala, whoever, should be able to speak directly with their own caracole within the matter of, should I join this house, yes or no, and have the two things in a person's hand, and have that person's ori choose whether that house is for them or not for them. And yeah.
But also offer the ability for the orisha to speak, because it's the governing orisha of that head, the elder's head, is the one that will be, you know, like safeguarding that person's passage, or creating space for that person to eventually go into their rite of passage with that elder and stuff. So forewarnings will come out on the mat, things to be avoided, certain counsel that she would offer both the elder as well as the prospective godchild.
Yeah, and the orisha could say, like, no, don't join this house. My son, my daughter is crazy. Run as fast as you can. Where it does get gray is the person who's throwing the caracoles. Perhaps it should not be the person who quote unquote owns that orisha. So there should be a third party, throwing the caracoles, and then hopefully that third party is an honest person and not just in cahoots with the godparent, because then everybody's gonna be, yeah, she says, it says, yeah, join. And then honestly with obi, you know, it's within the right hands, within a knowledgeable santero's hands, uluo's hands. You know, obi is super duper important. I think it should only be used for like simple, like, oh, like, where do you want this rogation to go? You know,
do you request wine? Do you request rum? Do they need like, you know, honey, or like small things like that? But something as big as
joining a whole house, that changes the trajectory of your life.
I think something more elaborate, more detailed, is necessary, you know, and the whole idea of having a third party, intermediary and stuff like that, to me, in this day and age, I see I see this rhetoric that comes up. Oh, you got to trust the process. You got to go in there blindly. Well, guess what? In this day and age where everything is going on and stuff, even the most well-meaning person, the minute there's an exchange of money or any number of things like that, tends to change the narrative. You know, and you know, like there are people that supplement their whole income
just doing religious stuff,
using these practices and prescribing things that, in all necessity, the person didn't even so much as need in order to fulfill their mandates and stuff, but because it's lucrative to the elders, lucrative to those people that are in cahoots with one another, that's where it becomes problematic, and it takes away from the quote-unquote magic of it all.
If Diloggun was used within the should I join this house, or does Ochun or Watala accept me into this house, number one, you're not using an intermediary, you're not using Obi, you're asking the Santo directly, and number two, it's the way it works. For those of you who don't know, yes or no questions, there's something on the left hand, something on the right hand. A question is asked, the shells are thrown on the floor, and then the person says open your left hand to your right hand, and that will dictate whether yes or no. That's to make sure that there's no biases. Being, you know, keeping it real, you know, Mefedefun Obi and all that, but, you know, honestly, the chances of Obi being yes is greater than the chances of Obi being no. There are three options for yes. There's Itagua, Alafia, e Eife. And there's two chances of no, Oyekun, Okana. And if it comes out Okana, then the Santero could say, oh, well, let's ask why. Do they want you to get a cleaning first, and then you can join the house, or you just want some extra rum et legua before I ask? You know, if my crown is et legua, oh, you just want some extra rum et legua? Oh, now the answer is yes. That shit can be manipulated. Where it say, oh, it came out, no, it came out Okana, but let's ask if the Orisha wants something real quick. And then, okay, now can this person be in your house now that they sprayed some rum on you? Yes? Okay. Well, there's a higher chance of things coming out yes, and we have loads of people joining houses that they probably didn't have any business joining. And if the shells were thrown, then if everything is only up and up and there's completely no biases or anything, in the hands throwing the Diloggun is what's it called? They have no stake in anything, then the Santo could say no, run. Or my daughter's house, my son's house is not the best for you, and I give you my blessing to go find a house. Your Ori will find another house that's meant for you. But in this day and age, everybody just accepts everybody. They do a real quick, I swear, it's like a 3 to 5 minute process. And just people joining houses, and that changes. That's gonna be the difference between you getting crowned in a house that you love and treats like a family, and being crowned and initiated into a house that you regret for the rest of your life, and you're never will be crowned.
You treat it as a client, you treat it as a number, you treat it as like a business transaction, and that's it.
And you'll never be proud to say, I got initiated by so-and-so.
Yeah. Why is it that sometimes elders come up and say, no, I just don't like to bother my Orisha.
Oh, yeah, that was another topic, yeah.
I don't like to bother my Orisha with that. I'd rather just go with Obi. I was like, why not bother the Orisha?
Is it not important enough?
It's
my life. I'm going to join your house.
Yeah. No? And then I'm being part of your family. I'm being part of your community. Why not ask the one that governs this community? What do they feel about it? Whether being here would be conducive to my progress or to both of our progress, would allow the Orishas to be able to speak and ascertain that. The Orishas might come out and just understand the scope of what the person has endured or the challenges the person's gonna have, even within the context of the house. Mm-hmm. So the Orisha might come and say, yes, they could join my house, but there are certain things that I need to state.
Precautions and safeguards.
Yeah, certain precautions and safeguards that I need to put in place and I need to speak about and I want to expound on to be a good match, so it could be compatible and so it could protect the longevity of the relationship and stuff.
Maybe the Orisha says, let's say if I bring down my Watala and it says, you know, if with Obi all you know is a yes or no, that's it. But maybe it says, oh, no, Obatala saying, yeah, he takes you when yes, he wants you to be in the house. You got his blessing. You're in the house. Yes, Alafia, fine. But it's also saying, Obatala does not want you advertising that you just joined this house. He wants everything done on the hush hush. There are things like that, or
there's reasonings behind stuff like that. Maybe this person comes from persecution. Maybe this person has encountered enemies or have people that don't, by all costs, by all means, don't want this person to get the help that they need to empower themselves, to better themselves, to better their circumstances.
Everything that we just spoke of, Obi does not and cannot speak on any of that stuff, because Obi is a very as beautiful, and like I said, in the hands of a knowledgeable santero, Obi can speak a lot, and eboses can be prescribed with Obi and all that. But at the end of the day, all these details, Obi's not going to say that. That only comes from a detailed Diloggun reading, and the whole idea, I don't want to bother my Watala because, you know, it's only for serious things. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to have someone join my house, then I want to know who I'm dealing with, and you should know who you're dealing with, because my Obatala could be saying, no, my son, my daughter is fucked up, and you need to run as fast as you can, or yes, you're blessed and join the house, but we got to do this and this and this. Obi does not do that. So why do we use Obi for joining a house when it can change the trajectory of where your life goes and change the trajectory of whether you're initiated in a part of a house that is conducive to you or not conducive to you, and you regret that shit for the rest of your life, and now you're just another boohoo story statistic, when Diloggun could have rectified that. Is it moving away from tradition? You know, because maybe that's the original way of doing things. You're joining a house, you use Obi, but in this day and age, you know, there's too much shiciness today.
Not all people are bad.
Yeah,
Let me just reiterate that, because people start personalizing things, and before you know it, it becomes like, you know, like my agenda here, or my stake in this is for people to make informed decision.
Yep.
To utilize their own God-given free will, you know, as to how to navigate these spaces. So becoming part of a house, it's very, very, very important.
It's very serious.
This is a long-term commitment, a long-term relationship, and you guys are going to be interconnected for life. And therefore, it should not be relegated to asking a question and ascertaining whether the answer is going to be a yes, no.
A 3 out of 5 chance that it says yes with Obi, when there's a 50% chance with Diloggun. I like those odds better, because even if the answer is no, it may be discouraging because maybe you really like that person, but at least you know that the Ochun, Obatala, Chango, whoever said no for a reason, as opposed to the 3 and 5 chance, the 3/5 chance of you getting accepted into a house, and that could be the biggest regret of your life.
And the Oduns that come out in the mat.
Yeah, as to why.
There is a parable, there's a story associated with it, and there are reasonings why, justifications why, and it gives you something to also walk away from the mat and think about for both parties.
Yep.
You know, and so you could make an informed decision whether you want to proceed or whether you need to do some soul searching and figure out what's your next step.